Tasha.
Hey, I'm Jess.
And we are Fight for Her. And Fight for Her is a mental health and fitness business program workout that is all about mental well-being and physical well-being. And this is Her Talks. Her Talks is where Jess and I come together. We just have some regular old dialogue about life, and you just get to be able to get the perspective from a therapist perspective and just brown girls who are just dope. So we decided we were going to talk about, this came up because hopefully that didn't mess with the mic, but I was watching something, a 50 Cent YouTube video. It was like one of those motivational videos. And 50 Cent was just talking about how he does not care about what other people think. And one thing he said that was, I guess, insightful was that why would I care about what someone thinks when they want to see me fail? Like, why do I care about the opinion of someone who wants to see me fail? And I was like, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Why? Because you think about it, like, most of the people that we try to convince are people who don't care about us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we kind of lose ourselves in doing that. Mm-hmm. And because we're trying to convince them to believe in us wanting them to see our worth, when do we really know our worth? Because we're trying to meet someone else's expectation and not our expectation. And we obviously know each other, know ourselves better than anyone.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like can't say like I've never felt that way. There were times in my life that I've been trying to meet someone else's expectations and had to really kind of take a step back and be like, whoa, that's just not going to happen. And who am I trying to make happy? Because then I'm becoming unhappy trying to chase this expectation that the other person wants, like their approval. When it's more having to just kind of really learn my own value and worth. I mean, many times in my life I've gone through that, and it's something that I feel like we all go through. And it's learning how to deal with that.
I think for me, I can remember times when I want to prove my worth is when I'm like, because I look young, and so a lot of people will treat me like a teen, right? And so in the professional setting, I would often feel, especially when I first started, I have to prove that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a professional, because people would immediately address me as if you're young, you don't know anything, or if I'm helping families, you don't have any kids, you don't know anything. It's always felt like I had to like prove, like do above and beyond of like speak a certain way or have a certain verbiage or present in a very mature way just to prove that no, I know what I'm talking about. And then I stopped that because that's a lot.
Yeah, no, it is a lot.
That's a lot of work.
And if they're so fixated on what you're not doing, or maybe you're not meeting whatever expectation they're doing, you're kind of going to lose yourself in that as well. Because that's losing the purpose of what you want. So I definitely understand that.
I think when I really had that freedom is, when you and I used to work at that place. We just gonna call it that place. And there was like so many times where there was this push to be someone that I was not, right? Like just trying to push you to conform into the way they wanted to see you, or they wanted you to work as. And I can remember you and I were like getting stressed, like, oh no, they're gonna. And then a couple times I said, girl, if you don't just know, you just do you. Because that's like, they're not about to stress me out. Have me
I remember having those conversations.
I had to jump hoops, and because and then I end up conforming in a way that's against my values and my belief system. And so I think that was for me. We have those hurdles where you're like, oh, I wish it never happened. Like, I'm actually grateful for that process, because that for me, that helped me. That gave me the strength even more to stand firm in who I am, and had me become more confident in standing firm in who I am after the aftermath too.
And I think exactly what you mean. Like, I lack that confidence, especially because I was just so early in the field when I met you. It was like, I think my second like real job. And so I felt like tiptoeing. Should I? And it was like, even like the language that I would even ask to do things. You were like, Jess, you don't act, this is what you say. Be confident in what you're saying and what you're doing, because you know it. And you definitely pushed me to have that motivation, and I had you. But again, it's also like, sometimes it's even meeting people, having conversations with people,
Yeah,
like when you
yeah.
go out with your girls or your friends and
Mhm,
you're just
mhm,
having a conversation at work or something about life, and they're just kind of looking at you like, wait a minute. And I'm sure everyone's kind of had
mhm,
those moments
mhm,
that they're
mhm.
just like, someone kind of gave them that light bulb and they kind of just saw like, wait, I should have done that.
Yeah,
And again, for
yeah.
me, it felt like being confident was
Mhm.
something that I struggled with a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think in the workplace, I'm 100% more confident than I was
Mhm,
when I
mhm,
initially started.
mhm.
And I think with the experiencing and always like to stand my ground and stand
Yeah,
firm in what I
yeah.
believe in and what I know
Mhm,
is right.
mhm, mhm.
Um, Again, that took time and a
Yeah,
lot of trial and error, but
right.
also building that confidence and self worth.
Mhm. I think, there's a tip, like, what's the tip? How do you do that? I think it is when you give yourself the permission to not care if people love it or like it.
Yeah.
Like where
Yeah.
you like if where you are more concerned about you standing firm in what you truly believe in, what you
Hmm.
value, and allowing that to be so much more important than if someone is going to understand it or not, or
Yeah.
someone's going to approve it or not, or like it or
Yeah.
agree or not. When you do that, it just lets off a level of freedom to just be you, but also just worry about you,
Yeah.
which is the only thing you have control over, right?
Yeah,
So then
exactly.
it's like
Yeah.
there's no anxiety about trying to convince or get people to
Hmm.
think the way you want them to think about you, because you don't have control over that,
Yeah.
right? And so you immediately let go of that anxiety when you're focusing on controlling whether you like it or
Yeah.
dislike it or approve it or not, because
Yeah.
that's what you have the most control over, is you and how you think.
Yeah. And I think also being like that people pleaser, like I also like that perfectionist. I want to do everything right. I want to make
Hmm.
sure that I dot all my I's, cross all my T's, but that everyone likes me. And it was just like, no, not everyone is going to like you. And you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
come to that reality that,
Hmm.
yeah, that's just not everyone's going to like you.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
that
some
part.
people that just, well, some people could be jealous of you. That's probably why they
Hmm.
don't like you.
Hmm.
People could be intimidated by you, knowing
Hmm.
that you're bringing something fresh and something new,
Hmm.
and just allowing yourself to be you and basically shutting off all that other noise.
Yeah.
Um, and I think through time, through experiences, and it's always helpful if you had like other people, like I had you to
Hmm.
kind of like
Hmm.
we worked well together, and you pushed me to have that confidence,
Yeah.
especially what I needed in that workplace at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but taking out that noise is
Mhm.
life changing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, focusing on what you can control, which is you, and not worrying about what anybody else is doing,
Hmm.
or getting them to see you the way you want them to see you, gets away the perfectionism, gets away the pleasing, and just allows you just to um, focus on more important things.
Exactly.
It gives
Yeah.
you the mental space to actually focus on things that are
100%. Yep.
way more important. So yeah. Well, that
Okay.
was our Her Talks for this
Yep.
episode. Make sure you subscribe if you like this conversation. Make sure you subscribe for more. And these are just like little clips that we just sit on the couch and have a nice little dialogue.
Yep.
So again, subscribe, like, and make sure you tune in for another episode of Her Talks. See ya.
See ya.